friends, so what do we do after Thanksgiving when we have all these beautiful pumpkins we had on display that we didn't carve, that are whole and perfect, and you don't want to throw them in the trash and you don't know what to do with them? So obviously after Halloween, after Thanksgiving, we're getting into the Christmas season. So I'm going to make an easy pumpkin recipe from pumpkin in my garden, some things in my spice cabinet, and then also some collards from my garden. And let's see if this is a delicious, warm dish for my family to eat. And hopefully it will encourage you to come up with some great pumpkin recipes as well. We have a ton of pumpkins sitting on our front porch, and we're going to eat every single one of them. So come along with me into the garden today, or actually this evening as the sun's starting to set, and we'll be making this pumpkin soup. Okay, so we're making a pumpkin soup here. These are pumpkins that I have frozen in the freezer. And so it's just pumpkin. I baked it on a baking sheet with olive oil, pink Himalayan salt, pepper for about 40 minutes. And then I dumped it in this blender with some chopped up minced garlic. I like to buy it from Kirkland's because it's pretty good and affordable. And a little bit of white onion, and threw it all in here and blending it up with some coconut milk. And then I'll make the other portion to go on top in a little bit. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do around Christmas is that it's starting to get dark. I don't know if you can see, but the sun's setting behind me here. And we have our Christmas lights up, and we have all white lights. And what's really great about that is it gets dark in our neighborhood. We have a lot of trees, but it's still light enough for us to do a little nighttime gardening. And if you're a garden nerd like me, then that's really exciting to have enough light to be out here picking things and checking on things, and even maybe burying a couple new plants. Living in California, a lot of cold plants will make it through the winter, and so really excited to have that opportunity while we have our pretty white lights along the fence there. And I have some there. These ones here look pretty healthy, so let's cut some of these for dinner, and we'll harvest them, saute them up. Even the ones that have a little bit of munching on them, I'll even clean those up and reuse them, like this leaf down here. If I can cut it, there we go. Clean that up and take this nice one here as well. And maybe this one in the back. Cut this one off. I might give this one to my birds. But see, this one here is all eaten up by snails or caterpillars, I'm not sure. So I'll take a couple leaves over off of this one here. Some really big pretty leaves. This makes a really healthy, good dinner. And like, what is more healthy than eating greens directly picked out of your garden? So there we go. Here we have it. There's the beautiful sunset with my little white Christmas lights. So one of the things that I like to do is just soak my greens while I'm prepping the rest of everything else. And I do that because it kind of helps to just get the bugs and eggs and whatever else lives in our in our garden kind of off. And then I will rinse each individual leaf and kind of brush it off, and that's how I will prep my greens. Oh, there goes the cat. And so now you can see this is filling up. And we'll let this soak, and then we'll chop it up and get it in the frying pan and get it cooked up as our topping for our pumpkin soup. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip the leaves from the stem. The stem is not it's rough and you won't want to eat it. I mean, I would eat it, but I would eat any raw vegetable and the stem probably, but my family would not eat that. But I will tell you who will eat it if you have these little members of your family. If you have probably chickens. In my case, we don't have chickens, but we have lovebirds, and they love the stem because the stem, not only does it have extra nutrients, it's a really great source of like water content for their body. They love greens. I'm assuming almost every bird does, but I don't know if that's really the case. So yeah, these stems, you know, we try to leave as little waste as possible for our family of 4, which is, you know, a lot of waste will come from us, and we're not by any means zero waste family, but we do try to reduce our carbon footprint. So things like this, if it doesn't go in the compost or the green waste container, it will go into my bird's cage and they will devour it and love it, and they'll sleep real good so they won't be squawking all night long. So here you can see all these greens. And then the next step is I'm just gonna do like heavy chopping of this onion here. Basically just pull the peels off. I do not give those to the birds, but this will go in the compost. And then I'll just kind of dice it up into chunks, or so I won't make it pretty because it's just gonna get sauteed up. But do chunky onions. Not enough to spend on this to make myself cry or have my eyes water, but just enough to have like good slivers and chunks of onion to give some good flavor with the collards. And then the other items that I'm going to put in the frying pan will be sesame seed. I got these a while back. I can't remember where I got them from. A little bit, cook with a little bit of sesame oil to give it that flavor. And then just some pepper and some, of course, pink Himalayan salt. And then we'll throw this in the pan and get it cooking. We're just gonna start off with the onion, salt, pepper, sesame oil. We're gonna fry this up, get a little bit caramelized, and then we will throw in the greens and the sesame seeds and get them a little bit toasted up in there, and then that should be the topping for the pumpkin soup. There we go, just frying it up, getting it moving around a little bit, get that heat turned on. Wait till we get a little bit of sizzle, and we'll get these caramelized. Sometimes I'll just kind of, there we go, there's the sound we're looking for. So mix this up. I got my little pan, I'll make them sweat a little bit, get it in there, and check on it in a couple seconds. It's like really starting right here to sweat, sizzle up. So I'm just gonna like throw some sesame in here like that. Toast them up. Let them get really nice and toasty with the onion. Caramelize a little bit. Get toasty on each side. And then we'll throw in the greens. In there. Let's go ahead and add our greens. I like to give it a second. Put the top up. Let it steam out for 5 seconds or so. Then I'll take it off and then I'll give it a good stir and start getting them cooking well. Next step is just going to be to take the pumpkin cream soup, pour it into the pot. There we go. Ooh, it's chunky. So these are pumpkins grown from my garden. There you go. And we're going to get this heated up. How beautiful. This is so beautiful and green. Straight from the garden, straight into our bodies. So super healthy. That color of green is so beautiful. So we're just cooking along.